Monkey is standing in a slow grocery line. Then seconds pass. Suddenly an invisible itch crawls under Monkey's skin. The silence feels heavy, suffocating. Monkey's hand dives into the pocket for the glowing rectangle without a single conscious thought. Monkey would rather face a hungry leopard than stand still with stimulation for one full minute. Here is the brutal biological reality. Monkey assumes the brain is a smart, logical captain steering the ship. Monkey's brain is a hyperactive toddler unleashed inside a digital casino. When forced to pick between a calm breath and a flashing jackpot, the toddler does not pause to reflect. The toddler violently yanks the shiny lever. The modern jungle was engineered to exploit this exact glitch. It is an endless buffet of pixelated candy. Infinite swipes. Red notification badges. The mind consumes artificial sugar all day long. When the brain is stuffed with high-speed fireworks, normal reality starts tasting like dry and flavored dope meal. Opening a physical book feels like dragging boulders. Deep work feels physically painful. Even listening to another primate's peak feels agonizingly slow, like a web page failing to load page. Monkey keeps hunting for the next loud distraction to escape the quiet. But assassinating the silence is exactly how Monkey destroys the ability to focus. To fix the broken machinery, Monkey must face the ultimate fear. Monkey must stop running from the quiet. Monkey desperately needs to be bored. Section 1. The Hidden Jungle Radar. The precise second Monkey drops the glowing rectangle and unplugs the headphones, the mind does not power down. It actually shifts into a completely different gear. In an overheated, overworked machine finally dropping its temperature to initiate a deep, internal diagnostic check. Neuralists label this specific wiring the default mode network. For a simple primate, just call it the background radar. This radar activates exclusively when the loud, flashy distractions vanish. Without shiny pixels to chase, the thoughts begin to drift wildly through the trees. Naturally, Monkey completely despises this drifting. Why? Because drifting always brings up the terrifying inquiries. Prickly, deeply annoying questions. The exact kind of questions that lack a convenient fast-forward or mute button. Thoughts suddenly pop up like, is Monkey actually climbing the right tree in this vast jungle? Why does the daily routine look so incredibly busy, yet the primate soul feels entirely bankrupt? That is the true reason the sudden quiet burns the skin so badly. Stillness is not a hidden predator. The stillness is just aggressively raw. It is the precise moment the digital circus packs up its stents, forcing Monkey to sit down with pure, unfiltered honesty. Monkey executes the classic modern survival tactic. Monkey violently tests the stillness. The primate hand instinctively reaches for a pixelated treat to instantly shut down the internal radar. But running away from the stillness builds a terrifying psychological cage. The hollow loop. Monkey actively dodges the stillness. Therefore, Monkey dodges deep thinking. Monkey dodges deep thinking. Monkey drops the internal compass. Monkey drops the compass. Therefore, the daily climb feels completely pointless. The daily climb feels pointless. Therefore, the primate chest feels totally bankrupt. The chest feels bankrupt. Monkey swipes furiously to numb the painful void. This brutal hollow loop ruins far more than just a temporary attention span. It completely erases Monkey's ultimate destination in the vast jungle. Section 2. The Shocking Evidence. Russ locked Monkey inside a completely empty white box for a quarter of an hour. Zero screens. Zero audio. No digital bananas whatsoever. Just a lonely primate sitting on a bare wooden stool. The laboratory only provided a single interactive object. A bright red trigger. Hitting that trigger delivered a harsh, stinging jolt of high-voltage electricity straight into the fur. The ultimate test was incredibly straightforward. Rest peacefully in the quiet void, or purposely inflict literal physical agony. Shocking majority of test subjects eagerly slapped the trigger. One specific primate actually zapped itself nearly 20 consecutive times. This bizarre behavior does not mean primates secretly enjoy being electrocuted like a malfunctioning toaster. It reveals a horrifying reality. Say brain completely wired by endless digital dopamine perceives pure silence as a lethal predator. Without the loud artificial jungle to provide distraction, the internal voice aggressively takes the microphone. So hopelessly dependent on flashing pixels that receiving literal tissue damage feels much better than doing absolutely nothing. Is merely petrified of the rocos left behind, when the glowing rectangle finally dies. Section 3. The blinking red alert. Hold on. Not all emptiness operates identically. Tiny dose of quiet is actually nutritional, as a brief biological push to go forage. However, permanent apathy, that suffocating gray cloud refusing to leave the canopy for weeks, that indicates a critical system failure. Whenever that dullness turns chronic, the internal processor panics. It aggressively hunts for neon-colored digital trash, infinite swiping, reckless behavioral choices, fabricated internet drama. The toddler at the control panel will yank any lever just to generate a temporary electrical spark inside the skull. Monkey incorrectly assumes the hardware is simply defective, or perhaps permanently lazy. False. The primate operating system is desperately fleeing a much more terrifying nightmare, existing entirely without a map. Under these conditions, the primate is completely unmoored, unplugged difficult obstacles, from natural mystery, unplugged from any actual purpose in the wild. Here, the numbness is never an emotion. The numbness is pure telemetry. Is the blaring alarm demanding an immediate engine inspection? Locking the body in a silent room as a strict penalty will only cause further psychological damage. The primate requires fundamental structural upgrades, intense physical exhaustion, deep physical recovery, and a difficult daily quest to finally reboot the neurological spark. If that thick gray cloud remains stubbornly fixed, calling another ape for backup is highly recommended. Section 4. The biological speedometer. Monkey's hardware features a built-in tolerance gauge for excitement, an internal volume dial determining how much chaos the nervous system requires just to stay awake. When monkey constantly consumes high-velocity pixel candy endless scrolling and hyper-speed videos, that dial gets violently cranked to maximum. The brain instantly assumes this digital circus is the standard jumble environment. Consequently, moving at a natural biological pace feels like agonizing paralysis. Reading a printed book feels like chewing dry sand. Lifting heavy rocks feels like a medieval prison sentence. Simply sitting still makes the fur crawl, as if the physical body is desperately swiping invisible glass to load more content. The internal toddler is violently banging the control panel, demanding louder, faster, shinier pixels. Here is the ultimate biological loophole though. Enjoyment is entirely adjustable. Once monkey forcibly turns down that internal dial, mundane reality stops feeling like torture. The neurological sensors recalibrate. They finally begin picking up subtle, slow-burning nutrients again. Deep work, steady progress, in silent peace. Monkey still absolutely craves a sweet fruit. Monkey no longer requires a fireworks display made of pure artificial sugar every 8 seconds merely to exist. Section 5. The environmental blueprint. Countless primates incorrectly believe the ultimate fix requires massive willpower. They aggressively scold their own reflection, demanding stronger daily focus. Raw willpower mathematically fails when carrying a glowing, neon slot machine everywhere. Whenever the internal toddler must suddenly select between building long-term survival skills or tapping a glass rectangle for a cheap laugh, the toddler aggressively picks the cheap laugh. The true biological cheat code does not involve fighting natural urges. The cheat code involves physically altering the habitat to permanently eliminate the escape routes. Monkey stops wrestling the digital demon. Monkey simply unplugs the entire machine. Section 6. The habitat reset. Number 1. The quarter-hour void. Monkey allocates exactly 15 minutes daily for absolute sensory deprivation. 0 swiping. 0 audio backs. 0 inbox refreshing. Just existing, pacing, or gazing at the canopy like a primate receiving a massive, incredibly slow file transfer from space. The nervous system violently rebels. The internal toddler screams. Eventually, the noise fades. The internal radar finally initiates the heavy lifting. Number 2. Salivate the digital nutrition. Swapping highly engineered trash for pure emptiness guarantees failure. The toddler immediately bargains. Now we swipe. Monkey swaps the junk for a puzzle that delivers a genuine neurological breakthrough. Mastering a tough concept or reading actual literature. Monkey strategically places the highly nutritious fruit much closer than the artificial candy. Action requires motivation when the proper path is physically closer. Number 3. Starve the transitional moments. Standing at the watering hole, waiting for the transport tube. Occupying the porcelain throne, Monkey stops aggressively cramming digital noise into every available microsecond. Monkey intentionally guards these blank spaces. Pure emptiness is the exact portal where derealizations casually walk through. Number 4. Protect the feeding ritual. Monkey consumes actual calories, not glowing red circles. Physically anchors to whoever is sharing the physical table. The infinite scrolling code is permanently banned from the dining area. Stays locked outside the cave. Number 5. Banish the glowing slab from the nest. The device never rests beside the primate's skull. Keeping a hyper-connected portal on the sleeping mat forces the subconscious to remain fully alert, identical to a terrified night watchman. Monkey places the slab in a distant chamber, allowing the biological battery to fully recharge. Number 6. Quarantine the artificial fun. Monkey completely refuses to label internet comedy as toxic. Instead, Monkey cages it inside a strict calendar slot. By dictating the exact hour for consuming loud, flashy trash, Monkey prevents the trash from aggressively conquering the entire waking period. Number 7. The tiny communication valve. Monkey builds a highly restrictive barrier, allowing only life or death signals from crucial tribe members to successfully pass through. Everything else, the celebrity gossip, the viral outrage, the completely useless minor inconveniences, simply waits at the border. The ancient primate species survived perfectly fine for millennia without real-time global panic. Monkey's fragile nervous system was absolutely never wired to absorb massive global catastrophes every 8 minutes. The system upgrade. How does the monkey system change after facing the emptiness? Two massive upgrades occur. Number 1. Physical reality loses that dull cardboard flavor. As the internal volume dial resets, grinding through hard tasks feels possible again. Looking another mammal in the eyes feels genuine. The internal toddler forgets to beg for neon explosions. Number 2. Monkey recovers the compass. The background radar links scattered puzzle pieces. Suddenly, Monkey sees exactly which trees are worth climbing. The primate is no longer yanked by flashing pixels. Monkey reclaims the steering wheel. Sitting in the void is not about squeezing out extra labor. The void breeds pure vision. A sharp vision builds an existence where escaping into a glass rectangle becomes completely unnecessary. Monkey does not require another loud motivational speech. Monkey desperately requires absolute stillness. The terrifying quiet is the exact location where real life begins. Just a quarter of an hour. The hardware will not explode from 15 silent minutes. To maintain this sanctuary, join the Monkey troop below for exclusive tools. Monkey appreciates it. That thumbs up. Throw a subscription into the canopy. It ensures the fruit supply never runs dry